Either that. Oh, you did.
Oh, yeah. Are we on? You probably want to see that and pass it around. I was gonna amend the agenda to put that on if that's no issue there. That'd be fine. Figured everybody could look at it if that's okay. If there's no objections. He said he'd talk to you about it. Yep. Let's have a pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let the record show we do have a quorum. Councilwoman Hartke has called in and is not feeling well this evening and is unable to attend. Those that would like to join me in prayer, please do. Gracious and loving Father, we thank you for the opportunity to gather tonight to serve our community. We ask for your wisdom and guidance from our governing body. Grant us discerning hearts and to make decisions that bring peace, stability, and prosperity to our town. Help us work together in harmony and to act with integrity and fairness to all citizens. May this meeting be productive and focused on common good. We pray for your blessing upon this work. Amen. Got a motion to approve the agenda. I'd like to move to amend the agenda to add.
Building permit?
Yep. Okay. Wherever that, sorry, under permits 14B, Bo Weaver. Okay. Do we have any more amendments? Okay, have a motion to approve. You made a motion to amend it. Yeah. Can I have a second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded to amend the agenda. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Pose the same.
Joel, who seconded that?
Pardon?
Mr. Nordine.
Thanks.
It was me.
Motion approved. 3-1, Mr. Nordine. Did you say nay?
No, I approve it.
Oh, it's off, okay.
I just got excited about raising my hand, so
Oh, okay.
forgive me.
Motion approved, all in the affirmative.
Can't vote twice.
Have a motion to approve the agenda as amended. Move we approve the agenda as amended. Been moved by Councilman Stetler, second by Councilman. Mine just went blank. Whitener. Jordan. Anyway, that's to approve the agenda as amended. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed. Motion passed on the affirmative. Let's move on. Do we have any communications from citizens? None being, anything online, Melissa?
I'm gonna ask a question if I could. We're here to discuss potential lease of the credit union. When would we stand up? I don't wanna miss our opportunity. And you kind of look like we should be saying something at that moment.
Yeah. This would be a good time to bring that up.
Okay, I'm gonna let it take.
Please come up, introduce yourself.
So I'm Breon Hopkins. I'm from Casper.
I'm Dave Way. I'm from Glen Rock.
And we wanted to propose the idea of leasing the credit union building on the corner over here to put in a power sports rental company. We want to rent side by sides and ATVs, boats, jet skis, that kind of thing.
That's the old town hall you're referring
Yes,
to, which
yes,
used to
yes,
be
sir.
a bank.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. And I guess I've been talking with Chris a little bit, but I'm not much in the political game of things, so I don't know how we need to propose that. He recommended we come here and give the idea to you guys and see if there's any questions you might have or
What
concerns with it.
what we would need, we'd need a written proposal.
Mhm.
With a breakdown, exactly what you would want, what you're looking at.
Okay.
It
There-
would,
Sure.
yeah, so that's what we would need that.
Okay. And that's, okay. Is there any questions from anybody while we're standing here?
Have you guys done some sort of study of some kind to kind of know what the market may or may not be?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, on a few different ways. So we've looked at, I'm a part of about every classified group in Wyoming. And I saw a huge demand in the Riverton, Moreland area, as well as just having the reservoir about 10 minutes away, all the BLM land around here, because it's going to be a multi-prong approach. So first, we're going to rent to people to just be able to hit the trails for 2 to 4 hours, just ride the back trails out south. But then they can also do weekend rentals as well. But with the abundance of BLM land you guys have around here, and the reservoir so close, it just one hand feeds the other, so it makes sense. I also run Casper Mountain Motorsports right now, so I'm very in-depth into the industry, and we get so many people from Riverton, Thermopolis, Orland, Lander, DuBois, this whole general area. So I think there's a lot of opportunity here. I mapped out I think the population within an hour and a half to 2 hour radius is about the equivalent of Casper. There is a very successful rental business in Casper. There's also like a mega rental business in Glen Rock, strange as it sounds, but they're kind of in that same geographical field of a lot of BLM land, a lot of places. So he's making a lot of his money too on leases, where he's leasing them to the power plant, leasing them to the Bureau of Land Management, weed and pest. Like it's a local governments have found it's a lot easier to write a $400 check every month or $600 check every month versus coming out of pocket $10, $12, $15,000 for a new machine. So we're kind of playing off models that have already shown to be successful. We're just bringing it into a market that doesn't have one right now.
Our end goal would also to be bringing in Airbnbs like tiny homes so that say with the truck stop, sorry, behind us now.
You mean the travel plaza?
Yes, sir. 36-hour resets in the trucking industry is mandatory. This is a very my background is truck sector. This road has traveled quite a bit. Actually, the gentleman in the fuel truck parks next to my shop across the street. He's doing his reset. If you have family and you're from this region and you have an area where you can come for the weekend, rent an Airbnb, the driver is stuck here. But if his family's from Billings, Casper, wherever it may be, the family's not going to want to come spend the weekend in a sleeper. But if they have an Airbnb where they can rent a boat or side by side, bring the family, now the 36-hour reset is something that is good and beneficial for the family as a whole, but it's also good and beneficial for the community here because now they're going to be spending their money here locally rather than just one driver sitting in his sleeper watching TV, maybe buy a burger at the gas station or something like that. they're gonna get out and engage in the community. And with tiny homes being on Airbnb, you can be anywhere in the country. You're going to Yellowstone. Well, that's a long drive between Cheyenne and Yellowstone. I want to stop one day. Make your stop here, spend the day, ride the ATV, let the kids get out, stretch. But Shoshoni is desolate, but Shoshoni is centralized. And Shoshoni holds much potential, and that's what we see in it.
Yeah, I've been talking with Chris for probably 2 years about what kind of opportunities I thought were here, what he thought the town might want to see and do and participate in. And I mean, I see like Shoshoni later on in the years could actually be a tourist stop along the way. It's perfectly located between Yellowstone and Cheyenne. So if you can, like, we want to start with and I'm not saying we're going to build out everything, but as we gain traction, then there'll be other people that have ideas and want to pursue different avenues. But I really see it like the power sports is just the introduction. We did come a couple weeks ago, talked with some of the business and landowners in Shoshone, and it seems like they're really open to the idea of selling land so that we can build tiny homes and do those kinds of things. But I think the potential is limitless. It just I mean, the traffic's already here. Like it already comes every single year. It just drives by. But what if we could get them to stop for 4 hours? And then what if we could get them to stop for the weekend? And then what if we can get them to stop for a week? Because they're doing it in Thermopolis. And the only draw Thermopolis has is the hot springs. There's nothing else to do there. So I see this as the best spot location, especially as Cody becomes more and more expensive. People are trickling down into Orland, Thermopolis. Well, what if we got them to stay here? Because most people go to Yellowstone, they spend 4 or 5 days there, but they're only actually at the park for 1, maybe 2. So what if we had them staying here? They drive up for the day, they come back and stay here again.
And we had a company out of Texas up here in 2019, right before COVID hit, and that sort of ended up killing the deal.
Yeah.
But they were looking at they weren't in renting RVs, but they were describing a lot of what you're describing. They were looking at RV parks and possibly little cabins to rent out.
Yeah.
They were looking at something like that.
We've got everything structurally in place to do this. We just don't have a building. So I was talking with Tim about the old gas station across the street. He's been using it as storage. Sounds like he still wants to do that. So I asked Chris, you got anything else? And he showed me the old library and then the old bank building. But I think the bank building, given its location right on the corner, will definitely help us, especially getting started, because we won't have to dump a big marketing budget into things, because you drive right by it. No matter where you're coming from, forward, backwards, like you drive by the building. So I think for that, strategically, it has a very good position for us.
We are still in negotiations on selling that property. That we were, I don't know. We'll see how that develops, but
Okay.
that
And well, I guess that'd be my next question. You guys are open to selling it? My
we're
assumption is,
yeah we're hoping to.
okay, because we would be interested in buying it as well.
Okay.
If the previous deal falls through.
I think recreation is a key pillar to the success of Shoshone in the future,
Absolutely.
for the very reasons you stated.
Yeah.
No ifs, ands, or buts.
Yeah, and I wanted to, so and I know the commercial 35 acres you guys have over here. I had an idea for that too, until you guys figure out, what the development looks like and what you want to do there. It would work really good for like 30-minute to an hour rides where people just, they pay $50, they go over there, they ride around on the 35 acres for a little bit and then turn it in as another option. But I'm a visionary, so when my brain gets going, it gets a little crazy.
Which
But
35 acres are you
it's
speaking?
the 35 closest to the road on the west side. I think it's 2 plots. You have the plat that's 35 acres by the road, and then there's 35 behind it. I think that's more used for residential planning, is that long-term residential?
Yeah,
Behind it,
that piece behind it, that, I'm thinking I don't know, but I'm guessing he's talking about where we had prior to me being on council, there's a prior negotiation at one point and then it fell through.
Like a brew pub, yeah.
You remember the
The one
bar
close
and
to the-
grill situation at one point?
yeah,
Where-
it's across from the, like right across, just from the hotel there.
Yeah, I
Like
was
just
thinking you're
past-
talking about west of
Further
Hurst
west.
Road.
Yeah,
I think so.
North of the highway.
North of the
sir.
highway, yes. Yeah, and, yeah, I've got big plans for that too, but that'll be later. I want to try and establish myself here in the community and then, we can kind of see how things go from there.
I'm gonna have to keep this to myself when I get home, because my wife Jo she says, we gotta get a side by side.
Yeah, yeah. Well, now you can get one just for the weekend.
That I'm willing to do.
Yeah, spend 30 grand.
Yeah.
But yeah, we sell so much to this area. It kind of worried me at first that because we service and sell a lot of side by sides in this area. But then when I started looking at the general populace and then how many units are registered, like there's still a ton, there's a huge market still. But I know there's a strong interest here because I sell to them all the time.
Called the crossroads for a reason.
Yeah, I just, 2 years ago, I was driving through, I was on my way to Thermopolis. Actually, I had a meeting with their board of tourism, they were wanting some help with marketing, and I drove through here and I was like, man. And then when I was on my way back, I looked and I saw all this open space, and like, wow. And then I started putting things together, like 4 million cars every year, and like the people are already here, like they're right here. So half the battle's already won. Now you just got to get them to stay a little bit. So
And on
Well-
the 35 acres, we had talked about doing a small dirt track, nothing like crazy. It's not gonna be motocross event, the type thing. But have small tracks that people can get out, kind of experience it, if you will. But also to do like a fake ghost town, if you will, just front boards for people to come out and be able to do paintball, go into dark paintball. Not only to the families, but we want to attract younger youth as well. It's either you give somebody something to do or idle hands, we don't know where that goes. So being as close to Riverton as we are, it's not that far for a young couple to make a 20-minute drive and spend $50 on 4 hours of side by side instead of driving to the theater, spending $80 to $100 for an hour and a half where you don't really talk or communicate. So I do believe there's a strong attraction for the youth, as well as banking off of Department of Tourism and some of the research that they have done and utilizing those numbers. Shoshoni just makes sense, if you will.
yeah, and if you guys do nothing else with this tonight, just YouTube a zombie paintball and you'll see what we're talking about. It's huge in the South, but I think the amount of people that come through here, I think there's a lot of opportunity to get them to come and spend some money with us.
Our ultimate goal, I'll leave my last comment with that. America's Adventure Park, it's in Oklahoma. That would be our grand goal for this area, is something of that nature. Something of that nature is going to take substantial amount of finances and whatnot. So that is not an over the night rollout type of thing. But ultimately, something of that nature is our ultimate goal.
20 or 30-year forecast or something of that
Yeah,
nature.
yeah.
Hopefully quite sooner than that, but 3 to 5.
Yeah, and I did on that 35 acres, I did some mock drops too, now that we're giving it all, but I did some,
Alright.
I did some architectural markups on the 35 acres for an adventure park. Because Wyoming doesn't have one. It doesn't have a theme park, it doesn't have an adventure park, it doesn't have anything. But it had a side-by-side track on it, had a small ATV track for kids, had a go-kart track that started, it was like a Circle 8 indoors. But then in the summer when it's nice, it has a huge garage door, opens up and the track expands out. Had an arcade, had VR rooms, it had 6-lane bowling alley, a food area, but that's about $10 million. And if I can find the money, then we'll go that route too, but I think this is again, the perfect location for it. Like, I don't know if there's anywhere better in the state to put one. But but that's future stuff, but yeah, that's the amount of time and effort we've put into planning this out and the thought we've put into trying to get execution on it. We're good, but we've actually, we've put in a intent to purchase on the bar here, so we're hoping that all that, like, due diligence and everything works out on that, so we see, Shoshoni.
Is your plan to operate the bar, or is your plan to utilize the
No, we'll,
license,
yeah, we'll
food
continue
grill
to
type situation?
continue to operate it the way it is. We have bigger plans for later, bigger building, but first we got to get more people stopping and visiting and staying and doing those things, but as of right now, it's not, looking at the financials is not super healthy, but I think it's worth purchasing now to utilize later in a way larger capacity than what it's being utilized for right now.
Potentially, hopefully to do like community concerts, events, utilize the roping arena to do like roping clinics. There's a lot of people from Casper that would like to do something like that, come over for the weekend, stay, they do a roping event, go home type of thing. Again, just to bring people in. And the more people that come, the more people talk. The more people talk, the more people, it's just the word of mouth has got to start somewhere. Purchasing the bar, if you have a bar, you know everybody in town, if you will. So it's a great opportunity. Plus, then be able to have that liquor license to be able to go to events or concerts, put on concerts with the town, work together to get people in and to build a nice little stage, not Red Rocks by any means, but something that people can come, set out their blankets. Again, I'm from Glen Rock, so we built Town Park. We do concerts every Thursday night. We do movie in the park. It's free. You come out, throw your blanket, there's a projector screen, families watch movies together. There's a couple people that sell snacks, if you will, just private vendors. And then Friday nights, every Friday night through the summer, we have a concert. It's not Garth Brooks or anything like that, but it's good music and people come just because they can dance in this. There's no dance halls anymore. You can't go anywhere in the state. You go to the Beacon Club, it's gambling. So you're left to go outside and dance, which is fine. But you don't want to just dance with no music, like, you know, so put a stage out there. It doesn't have to be elaborate. Just get people to enjoy themselves without going bankrupt.
So I ask on the conceptual idea of the purchase of that, will the forecast be to have some sort of entry?
Yes, so not out of the bar, but we are working on solving the food situation. I don't have anything solid yet. I have some talks in with some Mexican restaurants, some other vendors, a barbecue guy from Glen Rock. No one is really committed yet, but there's nothing really for them to be able to commit to. So we are looking at a different building here in town for that, but that is too premature to really speak on yet. We're not even under contract or anything like that yet with that. But we want to bring it, but I can't say the format in which it's going to happen.
Yeah, we did talk with Churritos in Casper. They're right by Home Depot. And they showed interest in having a secondary location. And the only one I could think to point them towards was the one in front of the hotel. I heard from Chris that it had some plumbing issues and stuff, so I'm not sure where it's at, but they were willing to entertain the idea of having a secondary location here, even if it was just open for, 9 months out of the year. But I think we can show them the potential of the 9 months to stay open for 12, because they'll make a killing through the tourism season. So,
In that restaurant, the parking lot is so truck friendly with the truck traffic. If somebody can swing in a truck, grab a burrito or a meal, they're going to do it. It's convenient. They're going to do it for the convenience. So I don't foresee the restaurant having any struggles throughout the winter months. It's not going to be as profitable as during the tourism season, but justifiable enough business wise to stay open during the winter months. And again, that's very presumptuous of me to say. We have not done really any due diligence, if you will, in research, traffic, and eating in that sense. But people have to eat. So if you bring people to town, you got to feed them somehow. You can't just expect them to pack everything in. So That is something that we are working on solving. The answer is not there yet, though.
Yeah, and the difficult thing with restaurants, because I ran a few, is the profit margins are not very good. So if you're like labor's on point, your food cost is directly on point, you're looking at 10 to 15% margin. And that'll shrink dramatically when you got people standing in the restaurant, there's no people. So, because we do seasonality too. I mean, our March to September is just, it's nuts every single day. But then all of a sudden October hits and everything. But we generate enough revenue to offset it through those slower months. I don't know if a restaurant can handle those kind of swings or not. But I
Proper
think with-
management is personnel.
yeah, and if
You
you're
got
doing
friendly
something-
people.
Pizza and burritos are about the cheapest thing, like they have the best margins of anything, because there's nothing to them. So, I mean, it costs you $2 to make a pizza, you sell for $17.99. Costs you $1.75 to make a burrito, you sell for $9.99, but it's just enough, can you sell enough of those $10 burritos to offset those winter months? And I'm sure they'll do the same as us, influx on staffing during the peak season, decrease during the slower times. But I think that'll be a great opportunity for a lot of young people too. I know that's how we plan on getting our help is we're busy in the summer. Kids are off in the summer, so what a great opportunity for them to start, diving into the workforce, having a summer job. But most of our stuff, like even the adventure park, will obviously require more staffing in the summer than in the winter, so. But it works perfectly for the people we're going to employ. Because there'll be a lot of first time, second jobs, those kind of things. Somebody's 16, 17, 18 years old.
And with leases and the other things we have in place, our business will be predominantly tourism season for the heavy season, but it's not like we're gonna close our doors. So it will present opportunities for year-round employment and hopefully bring in other people that can ultimately buy houses on that 35 acres that you want to develop.
And the thing that helps us too is the leases, so local governments and the park service, like all these entities that utilize our product, they'll be paying a monthly fee to have it. So just a lease, but that generates money in the winter. So that will stabilize us through the winter. And then we actually make money for the business in the summer.
Sort of need a maintenance shop with it somehow, huh?
Yeah, so we were later in discussion, we were gonna talk about the library, but like, I want to baby step into this, but he does own a trucking company, so a truck repair shop, so we have all the mechanics we need. If worst case scenario, we'll pull them back to Casper or bring the techs here to work on them, but through the summer, there's not really, I mean, they can just do it outside, it's not a big deal, but in the winter, it'll be a little more challenging. And you did know somebody has a shop?
Yes,
north of
Crystal's
here?
husband, Eric, just lost their last name. Eric is from Shoshoni. But he and his wife told me they actually had one customer broke down, and somewhere between here and the gas station, there's a shop off the side of the road. And that gentleman is retiring, I guess, and potentially interested in leasing that shop out. I used to own 23 dealerships, and then I got out of that and then got into independent truck repair, and apparently I'm sucker for punishment or something, I don't know, but it's not enough to keep me busy, so. And like he said, this isn't an overnight. Friday night, we were having beers and came up with this concept. This is years of development and research, so. Very well thought through.
Well, present us a package and sort of where you want to start. You can include your vision for the future, but where you want to start now.
Yeah, that's
And-
and that's the big thing, we want to start on the for sure. So we know we can, if they allow the transfer of the liquor license and stuff, we know we're good on the bar, we know we're good on the rentals, so we want to start in that capacity. And then run that for a little while, see how it goes, and then look at what the future looks like. But we just want to get ourselves into Shoshone so that we can start building out some of these ideas we have, but it'll be, we just want to start with rentals in the bar for now, and then we'll see kind of where it goes. I saw the marinas for sale too. But I'm telling you, that's where my brain goes. I'm like,
Yeah, they've really built that marina up considerably, the current owners.
They did what?
They have really built that up.
It looked,
They've
yeah,
built their business up. They've done a lot of improvements out there. They're really doing a good job. Good place to go eat.
yeah, and that's, I found if you have good food, people will come see you. Guaranteed, weather doesn't matter, distance doesn't matter, if you have good food, they'll come find you.
Just don't forget the ice cream at the marina.
Yes, yeah, the ice cream and the slushies, yeah. There's a restaurant outside of Torrington called Lyra's, and it was like statewidely known, like if you drove through Torrington, you stopped at Lyra's. Like you didn't eat all day, so you could stop at Lyra's, but it's completely off the beaten path, but people would go, and they come up from Cheyenne to go eat at Lyra's, it's crazy. I go
People
from
used to
22
come to Hudson for the same reason.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So,
I think still do.
but all we gotta do
It's
is,
not the same,
No, it's
not
not.
as it used to be.
So we've actually got scads of land too. I don't know if in your model, if you need the building or if a guy could put like a skid structure or something, if you had a good spot.
Skid structure in regards to
Like for an office,
space.
yeah, or something like that. I was just saying if there's another idea, because we have a lot more land than we have land with buildings.
Yeah, we have.
well, and I mean, yeah, we could look at even buying a trailer house or something to
And just thought,
makeshift into an office. The only thing is side by sides are okay, but ATVs and boats and stuff, they don't like fluctuation of weather, they don't like snow, they don't, so maintenance repairs would go up substantially if you just left them out here.
How would you like us to present everything to you? Would you like an email, raw facts?
And we can take it to email as long as, it's a good package and we can disperse it amongst everybody.
What is an email that you'd like that sent to?
Kim, how about yours?
Okay. It's KRILEY. And Shoshoni. Not born.
I think Chris didn't mention that the building was currently possibly being purchased. I guess that was new.
well, it's been an ongoing deal
Oh, yeah.
for a while.
Yeah, we're working on it. We had a $7 million project turned into a $10 million project. So right now, the client the purchaser had $7 million lined up.
Not to purchase the building. We don't think it's worth $7 million.
Right.
Big project.
Yeah.
Like,
But we're gonna build
pot of gold up
a new, put a Army cardiopulmonary, want to build a regional office here
Oh, okay. Yeah,
because we're in the middle of the state.
Yeah, same reasons you're talking about.
Yeah,
Except
there's so much.
Centrally located.
But in any event, so right now they're going through, I'm gonna call it value engineering.
Mhm.
And they're waiting for the RHT from the federal government, the world health transformation.
Yeah.
To get through the feds. It's sort of got the state and the feds are still working on that, so they're looking at some federal funding to help put that over the hurdle,
Gotcha.
so.
Did you say your name was Brion?
Brion, yeah.
And your name was?
Dave Way.
You guys have that card?
I have an old business card. The number's still valid, but the company's been sold for a few years.
Okay.
Brion, what was your last name?
Hopkins.
Well, what's your name? I'm sure.
Councilman Stetler asked about, or kind of made the comment about property and buildings and.
We're open to any property as long as it's not 10 miles off the road. One of the bigger things is key location. For just like where the bank is, you're coming north, south, east, west, you're going to see it. That's the biggest thing we were trying to attain, if you will, is location. So other property, absolutely, we're interested, just as long as it fits the demographic.
That I asked that is, you know, possible, like a pole barn structure or something, you know, shop turned into a business front, if you will.
Yes, that could be
If there's
convertible.
just dirt. As a potential. I get that that corner is the most desirable piece of land in Shoshoni.
But we own vacant lot just right across the street from Baslin.
Yeah, is that in between the library and the?
No, right across the street to the south.
Right.
Oh,
Next to the gas
It's
station.
just next to the gas station.
Oh.
Correct.
So where the old building is, the one that you said I met with somebody on,
Tim, yeah,
there's a piece there. That essentially goes to that house.
okay,
There's a house there.
yeah,
There used to be lip rippers.
That wall,
okay.
that piece there.
That could be, yeah.
Yeah, we have that. too.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, because we're, I kind of had my sights set on the bank building, but I don't think it's an overall deterrent. We'll figure out something.
Yeah, there's another piece of property too that's right on Main Street. Well, it's Second Street, but it's. So where the hotel is at, if you just go across the street to, actually, it's across a
Alley.
path, you know, to the east. So
Okay,
it's.
Four
it
lots,
actually has a kind of a
four
garage
lots
looking
with a small
thing.
shop.
Yeah,
okay.
that's where a motel was that got torn down.
Oh,
And it's pretty good size. It'd be, frankly, it'd be.
That's a, yeah, shop with garage. door.
See, I was thinking of that.
and that's kind of on the north side of the motel to the east, is that
No.
correct?
East.
West,
actually,
east, direct east,
Just east.
Directly east.
Directly east.
sitting on four lots.
Oh,
There's-
okay,
There's a shop already there.
Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
It would need a little love.
yeah,
But-
well,
I was thinking
Five
exactly that with a skid structure.
yeah,
It's
Office.
yeah, it's a small shop. I mean, it depends what you want to do in it, but
yeah.
I mean,
It would-
there's enough room on that lot, I would think.
Awesome, we'll swing
Yeah.
by there.
Well, and initially, we don't need a mega structure. Just enough to.
Yeah,
get
skid
started.
shack, as long as we can secure computers, if you will. And then some sort of lean-to, so like he was saying, we're not sun-beating everything. Again, this is a development, and I'd rather do something like a skid shack and say, our original idea is not working, we need to go bigger than that, or our original idea is too big, let's scale back for a minute, rather than put the money out, front it, and then this isn't working.
And, and then we also, if you're looking at a place to for four-wheelers to develop some trails and stuff where they can run around. We have way over 100 acres on the north side of the airport.
There is an airport here,
Yeah.
I would have flown over.
He's a pilot.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know how our meeting came. I couldn't be here. When was that? Last Friday, we was meeting with the YDOT, they run airports from Wyoming, but they were trying to set up for immigration inspection, or I guess because we're registered airport, I don't think we get a lot of traffic that way. But
It's a
they
dirt
wanted to set something up, but I couldn't be here to do that, so.
If I end up building a house, most likely, yes. I like to keep my lane at, well, at least one of the Cherokee. I like
You
to
know,
keep the
and
house.
one of the things you might even be interested in, we had multiple people contact us about hangar homes.
Really?
Yeah, 3 from Lander,
Oh, wow.
one
I'd
from
rather-
one from
I'd
California.
rather see you build a home on our new property than a hangar.
Right.
I
Be
either
the
one.
first.
I'd like to see you build a new house out there.
If you guys can go, just Google Fremont County map server, Fremont County, Wyoming, you can get on there, get on the Greenwood map. You can zoom into the area, you can click on whatever and it tells you who owns it.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you probably could do the same in like Natrona County or whatever.
Yeah, I was playing with it. That's how I found.
The town owns a lot more than we should, so we're all about getting rid of it.
And it's real easy to get to the airport. The street just to the west of here, that's California Street. Just go all the way north. When it ends, look to the left, which is the west. And That's where the airport's at. And there's a sign that says, don't come in here, go in. Yeah,
But if you got on the, we have two runways. It's almost about 5,000 foot. One, and then we have a little shorter one one that's sort of diagonal. You went down the end of that, and looked off over the edge, it sort of drops off. And we own all that land until there's a fence down there. I think we have at that airport, 300 and some acres,
Is it that much? Okay.
something
It's
like
dirt.
that. Hmm?
Yeah, dirt runways, yeah.
And but
We like
there's,
dirt.
but down there, a person may be able to develop something like that, because I actually had somebody else approach me with an idea of doing something down there like that. Doing sort of what you're kind of talking about.
I was told by other pilots, first thing you do though is buzz the runway, get the antelope off.
Get the antelope
Back
off.
around and land.
Yeah.
Heads up.
We're anticipating, we actually had a contractor to put a new fence in, and the contractor backed out, so that's something we're gonna look at again this year.
If you need a contractor, that card, Whole Home Solutions, is one of the companies I own, and we do fencing. So just putting that out there.
Oh, you do?
But we,
Ever build a dog park?
A dog park? The closest I came was Sit Means Sit for, just drew a blank on his name and his wife's name, there in Casper.
Yeah.
So I do AstroTurf as well, mostly for golf courses, small homes, things like that.
No.
So
no,
that's kind of how we got tied into that.
another project, we're going, you're talking about music and concerts, we're developing a trailhead in the town park. And I've had people tell me that would be a great place to hold concerts.
Yeah.
Because of the
well,
rocks we have around there.
Yeah, it's beautiful scenery. We went out there with Chris Chris told us where to go. And it was like, all this natural landscape, it's right there. I mean, it's very similar to Red Rocks, if you will, with the natural beauty. So I can totally see how that would be a
But-
massive hit.
But I've had people suggest that to me, that'd be a great place to do something like that. But there's yeah, we had Charlie Pride here one year.
Well, really?
He had 30,000 people here.
Must have been a minute ago.
Yeah.
That was in there.
I mean,
Well, it cost 30, maybe we only had 10,000. It cost $30,000 to get him to come. Had to guarantee him $30,000, then a percentage on the gate was worked out. But he was guaranteed $30,000, and this was in 1980, what? 81, 82, something like that. He was a great guy. He came up the bar, shot pool, went golfing he's a big golfer, went golfing with the locals and over in Riverton, and yeah, just it was a heck of a deal, but it was, 1981 or two, something like that. 30,000 of those dollars.
Yeah, that's a lot of.
To get him, and actually a local bar owner, he promoted it and brought him in.
Was it Miss Holly? Did she own the bar then?
Pardon? No, this was, I forget their name. It wasn't the Lucky Fly, it was the Wagon Wheel. And turned into whatever their name was, but anyway, one that Holly owned.
Yep.
Yeah, that was pre them, it was
Okay.
the family, I forget their name, they actually moved up here from Casper. If I remember right, but I think they bought it. Ralph Metcalf owned it and he sold it to them. But yeah, that was pretty exciting times.
I
But
bet.
that was, the town was packed. Yeah, I think there was 10,000 people here, that may be the number, but the 30,000, that was what it cost in dollars to secure Charlie Pride to come here. Shoshoni, Wyoming. Outdoor concert. We had it on Councilman Stetler's land that he owns now.
So you could be a concert guy, promoter.
And we had vendors
goat farm
all
now.
over the state here.
Well, I bet.
It was, there was, vendors selling just anything, food, just
Wow.
beer wagons, of course,
Yeah, well, no, I'm sure you guys know the Rialto in Casper, but I actually helped get that rebuilt and structured and doing comedy shows. I brought comedy to Casper, truth be told. So, I'm big in the promoter game. I also helped get Lori Morgan into Thermopolis last year and the drone show and all that stuff. So, that's definitely in my wheelhouse. Marketing is something that I like, it's a skill set that I'm very good at. So if we have a good event, I can get people here. And, that was kind of part of the reason for the concert venue itself, is to draw people here that wouldn't normally come and get them to spend some money. It's the whole reason we're buying the bar. Like the bar has no value right now, but we're gonna give it value.
Correct.
So
So any other questions? Well, I really do appreciate you. Chris has mentioned the project to me.
okay.
Yes, he has. So I'm not blindsided. He has talked to me about this project.
I
Awesome.
appreciate you guys coming in. I look forward to you
Yeah.
making your way here.
Absolutely.
Check out that
Appreciate you taking the time. Yeah, we're
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
check
we're
that out.
gonna. Yeah, yeah.
It was very nice to meet you all. You have my card, my number. If you guys have any questions, concerns in the interim, please don't hesitate to reach out. And we'll get that proposal over to you. That way you guys have time to review and digest it before you see us again.
And the timeline, like, we're trying to get everything orchestrated by Memorial Day. If that happens or not for sure, but that's ultimate goal. Hopefully we'll get more moisture, lake will be a little fuller, but yeah, we're trying to move relatively quickly. We've tried to cross T's, dot I's prior to coming here. So that then all we need to do is pick a location, get a blessing, and then we can. And then Chris said you guys meet again May 7th.
So it'll be the second, it'll be this, we meet second Tuesdays and fourth Tuesdays every month.
Okay,
And we have to go through, if we sell any property, there's a process we gotta go through.
Okay.
If we lease a property, it's a lot faster.
Would you be interested in a short-term lease until the purchase acquisition went through?
Well, that might be, that's why I brought it up.
Okay.
I didn't know if you would be interested in something.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir,
yeah.
absolutely.
yeah, we can talk and purchase
But it's-
later, but we just want somewhere to operate for now.
It's,
Our next council meeting is May 12th.
May 12th.
So,
yeah. So. But get us what you got as soon as you can, so we can get it out to all the members.
Yeah.
Governing bodies, so we can all review it.
Yeah, our goal is to have you something in a couple of days here. We're gonna go look at the new spots that got presented and see where we might think the best fit would be, but we've got everything else ready, so should be pretty quick.
But down that we do own a lot of land.
That's
We
good.
do own a lot of land.
It's all for sale.
Well, with our plans, we might need a lot of it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, the one thing on the property you're looking at, we do have our main water line going through there. So we would have to, if we do anything with that, everything's need to be. You know, we just gotta keep that in mind. We'd have to have easements and stuff like that going through there, but it's. There in the past, there's been, used to be. Kids every now and then go wandering around on their four-wheelers out, zooming around out in that area anyway.
Sounds like they
Awesome.
already have the vision too.
Yes.
All right, well, thank you
Oh,
guys.
yeah,
You have a
thank
wonderful
guys.
evening.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. That was good.
So.
Recreation.
Move on down to the consent agenda. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes, April 14th, 2026?
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
I second it.
Moved by Councilman Whitener, second by Councilman Nordine, to approve the minutes, April 14th, 2022. Any discussion?
Yeah, in the section 18A, I just wanted to make it clear that It's not the rifle range strategic plan, it's the town's, it's just a strategic plan. The rifle range is a part of the strategic plan, but it's a strategic plan for the town.
For the town.
Yeah, and this, as this reads, it looks like it's the rifle range strategic
Yeah,
plan.
that's what it sounded. I
Yeah.
went back and forth and I kept listening and it's like, but he just talked about riflery, so.
Oh, it's a part of it. It's, for me, rifle range is part of everything, but you know, but it is absolutely a part of the strategic plan, but not the entire, right?
The towns.
Town's strategic plan. Yeah,
It's hard to say real fast.
you know what? I can't say it at all, so yeah.
Good catch.
Okay, so I'll change it to the town's strategic plan.
Thank you.
Yes.
And then make a motion to approve the amended minutes.
Second that.
Been moving second to approve the town amended minutes for April 14th, 2024. Any further discussion?
Who seconded the amended?
Councilman Whitener.
No,
No,
it was,
Oh, the other way around?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Councilman Nordine.
okay. Right.
No further discussion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, the same. Motion passed all in the affirmative. We have a motion to approve the bills April 15th, 2026 to April 28th, 2026.
Make a motion to approve the bills.
Moved by Councilman Whitener to approve the bills. Have a second.
Second.
Second by Councilman Stedler. Discussion.
One discussion I had is the Rocky Mountain regarding the sprinkler system. Rocky Mountain Medical Clinic. I guess,
Rocky Mountain Power?
I don't know, it just says,
It's Rocky Mountain Power.
when was the sprinkler system popped out?
It's Rocky Mountain Power Senior Housing,
Okay.
so the sprinkler is separate from all the apartments.
oh, sure. So there's a bill in here for Expressway Lube Incorporated. For 165, is that's multiple vehicles, isn't it? Isn't it like a?
That was for windshield repair. On a PD car.
No,
Right.
that's further up the quicksand auto glass.
Oh, wait a
Put
minute.
it out, yeah.
Which one did you say?
Expressway Lube, it's 165.98.
Oh, yeah, it's it went up.
But
I can get the phone. if you want.
no, it's fine. Yeah, I just, at that amount, I thought it was multiple vehicles.
No, it's usually like, 119.
Okay. Wow, that jump.
Yeah.
Big time.
I know, when I thought it, I was like, whoa. Then I thought about my oil. And I think my oil saved.
Yeah. Okay, it just seemed high for, I don't know. Oh.
Any other questions? Any other questions?
Don't believe so. I don't mind being that.
None being all in favor, say aye to approve the bills, April 15th, 2026, April 28th, 2026. On favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same. Motion passed all in the affirmative. Clerk treasurer quarterly financial report.
Okay, so you guys all have the breakdown. For and then the graphs. So it's all with revenues for this quarter. We're looking good. Expenditures were staying pretty much right where with budget. And so that leaves us going into our fourth quarter, which our fourth quarter is the one that is going where we usually get the most revenues. So our revenues for fourth quarter should increase. So we should be sitting good at the end of the year. Been a little tougher year because we did so many cuts to the budget. So, but we've managed, so that's good.
Typically, we have our fourth quarter, we have an increase on income coming into the town. So it looks like we're a little short, but we're far better condition this year than we were last year. At the same time, we're,
Even with the cuts that we did to our.
yeah, we were, last year at this time, we were 68 below projected, we're only 34 now.
Yeah,
And so, we have typically our fourth quarter, so it doesn't flow every quarter. If it was a perfect world, it'd be 25%, 25%, 25%. But that's not the way we spend money or have revenue either way. So there's, Kim's went over it pretty deeply and you know, we're sitting well.
especially with all the grant money that we put out.
Yeah, so we're,
Doing
like I said, we're sitting well. But Kim explained it all well. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask him. That's just sort of the nature of the beast.
Yeah, and I'm gonna see if, because there's a report that I'm used to working with it's called a comparison financial statement. Where you can actually, it prints out your 3 years worth. So you can compare, and you can see it on one report. Makes it really easy.
In business, that's fairly standard. But Castell doesn't want to do that.
Yeah, it QuickBooks has one.
Yeah,
Casel's got a house. But I have yet to find them, so I gotta get a chance to call them and see if we can't, if they can't put something together or suggest something that
Right.
Casel does have that I want. Cause I think it gives you a little bit better idea. So that you can actually compare quarter by quarter.
Yeah.
And then year by year.
right. But any questions? Good job, Kim.
Thank you.
Move on down to permits. A special permit, consumption permit for Madison David. Want to talk to us a little bit about that, Kim?
Yeah, on this one was turned in late. So something was actually Saturday. This past Saturday. So it was explained to them that, in the future. Anything like this has to be turned in. I gave her the dates, the times, and then. I found out in a phone call that I got that they were told about it, so they knew. They just got it in late. So the function's already occurred.
Yeah.
So hopefully with them knowing in the future, it won't be approved again.
Yeah, I saw the data 425 and I went,
Uh-huh.
that was last weekend, so.
I have one question on this application. I would like to see. Updated or maybe brought with the times. I'd like to see some sort of confirmation confirming age to consume who is obtaining the permit.
What do you mean, age to consume? On
Who's consuming alcohol, Madison David's getting a permit, so that's stating she's the liable person.
Right,
I'm looking at this, she's signing stating that she's 21. But there's nothing on here that says there's confirmation of such.
so are you saying like a driver's license or?
I think we should probably have something to confirm that she is able to consume.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nothing that we've had in the past, but we can add that. Especially to these.
Yeah, I think a copy of the driver's license added is best practice to protect us.
Yeah. It's a good idea.
In the event something happens,
Yeah,
it's gonna fall back in our lap.
yeah, we can request that. Melissa, did you hear?
Well, do we need to put a disclaimer on it that no one underage is allowed to drink?
Well, there's kind of that in there already.
Yeah, we're.
But I think we need to have. Photocopy of the ID stating. Like, not 20 years
I got
old,
no problem with that.
off the record, but. I can say that I spent some time in a bar at 20 years of age.
I did it 17.
See, that's my point.
Yeah,
I could get into any bar when I was 19, but when I was 20, I got carded. Ain't that something?
So that's my
hard
point.
year.
That's my point. I just
Very
don't want the
easy.
town to be liable in the case of a
Yep.
situation. And so.
sure. No, that's fine.
When I was
Yeah.
18, it was legal in Iowa. So, yeah, it was legal.
Well, I had to go to Colorado. The year after I turned 21, they made it legal in Wyoming at 19.
Colorado was 3-2 here, wasn't it?
Yeah, you could also go to South Dakota, but you could go to Montana and drink. When I was 20, maybe not 19, 20, they passed it in Montana before, where you could drink in Montana. Might have been 19.
Just something I think for best practice. Go.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
And it's easy enough to get.
That was a big deal to go to Colorado, go to a 3-2 bar. You were 18. When I was 18. Anyway. His second permit, Bo Weaver building permit.
Make a motion to approve Mr. Weaver's building permit on his fence.
Second.
Been moved by Councilman Stetler, moved by Councilman Whitener, second by Councilman Stetler to approve Bo Weaver building permit on his property. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye. Aye, pose the same, motion passed on the affirmative. Town cleanup.
Mr. Letch approached me the day after we had our last meeting and said, not sure if the town is doing a cleanup this year or where that stands with burn restriction and everything of that nature. So I sent a note that we might want to add that to our agenda to talk about.
Yep.
Not something that we have to do, but we've done it in years past. And just something to kick around here, so.
Kim, what did it cost us last year for that? Do you know? I was thinking it
I would
cost
have
us
to
quite a
dig
bit
that
of
up.
money.
I don't know off the top of my head.
I remember we had,
Yeah.
did they bring a dumpster over or something?
Yeah.
And the guy, I don't know if it was,
two.
I can't remember for the life of me. I was trying to ask Mike if he knew how many they brought over. Did we allow him to put stuff out on the corner and our guys picked it up? I couldn't remember if that was 2 years prior.
In the past, I think there was some people,
Let me go look.
cause I know I put an old washing machine out and we picked it up for the elderly. Of course, they didn't check my ID or I wouldn't have got it, but anyway, but for the elderly, I know we did offer, the town went around with a trailer and did pick up some stuff. And, or, someone with physical limitations. That we did some of that, but that's all, that's only one, I believe we did that for everybody else had to deliver, I believe is how we did it.
Want to do that? What was the expense?
Kim's grabbing that.
Grabbing that,
Well,
for some reason, I
no.
thought we,
I don't know if the maintenance, that's something she'll have to know too. Do they have anything to wiggle in there?
I think our budgets is really tight right now for that. We've had a lot of cost on water well repairs and stuff like that, and other repairs, I think. I don't think we got a lot of budget to spend much money. But if we did it in June, we wouldn't have to pay for it till July, in budget year.
So 4,900.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Quite a bit. So. That's,
It was a lot more last year than it was the previous year. It was 2,700
Right.
previous year.
Why?
And I don't know what they did different.
So that's was Mike's bill. So it's $2,000 more.
So it was a lot more garbage.
well, yeah. Cause we pay him, but for the dumpsters, but also you gotta deliver them
Landfill.
and the tipping fee at the county
Yeah,
per pound. You know,
So essentially more people took more junk.
yeah, I
And
mean,
maybe the
I have to
county,
look at the two invoices side by side to know
Yeah.
if the prices went up or,
county fees could have increased too.
well, that's what I was getting.
right, I'm sure, but that's
And I know they have, because I've taken a load of some stuff.
that's,
They doubled?
I don't know if they doubled, but they've gone up.
but,
I
well, that's just part of it, though, the tipping fee.
I took a trailer load and they charged me for my pickup that had nothing in it. And the trailer.
jeez.
Riverton?
The one by the hockey rink there.
Yeah, just based on weight.
Vehicle
Did they take a
and weight.
That's
variance?
new because they would normally weigh you on the way in and then weigh you on the
Yeah.
out. Then
That's the way they've always
difference.
done me, yeah, but
Yeah, you do.
they could have changed.
Well.
Should they have your number or something or?
I don't know. She said you get charged by each vehicle and weight.
Okay.
Well, maybe they figured you got you from Shoshoni in there. The Shoshoni Terror.
Maybe she just didn't like the amount of stuff I had on the trailer.
Hmm.
Then I got told I'd be charged too if I didn't back up and put an extra strap on the chair that was loose there or whatever. So.
Yeah, at least they didn't have you put a tarp over it, did they?
No, I just draped the ratchet strap over it and I didn't even tighten it down.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah, they saw you coming. Teach you.
At that cost, I don't think it's even to discuss truthfully. I'd like to see it continue for people and have an incentive to clean their stuff up, but
and that's a substantial amount of money.
it's pretty hard to eat.
Yeah,
So I say maybe table it and consider it down the road.
Yeah,
Just maybe consider discussing some other options or looking into it a little
let's
deeper.
look and see if we got other options or what we could. That was, I think a few years ago, we had a pretty big bill too. Used to not be that much. Used to not be a lot. I know one year we ended up with a bunch of tires. Them are hard to get rid of.
Can we set some parameters on something?
Yeah, we did. We no tires or I don't know. We had stuff that we listed that we would not allow.
The hard thing is you have to have somebody man it too.
Yeah, you got to.
Because if somebody just shows up in the day and unloads 50 tires.
Yeah. Yes,
Did
Ken,
Mike say
please.
that last year was May 5th? In our meeting?
Yeah.
Department. Yeah, that's what he was asking. So it's getting close.
Just, yeah, that's, potentially quite a bit of money and we have really, once we open it up, we have no control
Yeah,
on what is brought in and what are, we'll open up our budget, well, we could do $1,000, but we got no control over that. I think we can still do limbs and stuff like that, tree limbs and stuff like that. And I don't know what date we did that. I mean, I think we can still offer that to people.
Where are they to take those?
I think, didn't we buy us a,
We did.
yeah,
We have a chipper.
but I think probably work with, maintenance, Public Works, see where they want. I think in the past did they deliver it to our town yard somewhere? Or did we we used to have a pile, we used to burn that pile. So I don't know where they're.
Seems like with the water tank, they might have their hands full.
For a few more weeks.
And I don't know, since we're talking about public works, have they been blading? That might be the only rain we're gonna get all year. If they ain't running the blade nonstop, they're screwing up bad, and I think they need to be right now. I know we're not all wet, but it's about as wet as it's gonna get. But I mean, I'd hate to put on a whole nother project, a town cleanup. When we got town roads, town water, town
Right.
all that they're
Correct.
covered up and ain't got time for.
Sure.
Yeah, especially if they're not.
That's what I'm saying. I think this town cleanup thing can be tabled and pushed out.
After the water, the roads and all
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
if there's anything left.
We can't, we're in a no burn situation anyway, so.
Sure.
I think this just be kicked with a curb for a while.
I agree.
There's way more importance and.
Higher priority.
Jordan, do you have anything? We'll move on down. Do you have anything you'd like to add to the city now?
I don't.
Councilman,
Excuse me. Yeah, sorry. Okay,
Dean.
I just have a couple things, as usual. We put in for a grant with the Wyoming Outdoor Recreation and Tourism Trust Fund. So they met today and this afternoon, and then they're also meeting tomorrow. They're gonna really be discussing the grant applications tomorrow. They have over 80 grants that were applied, so we're one of the 80, but they have more money this year. I don't know what that means, as far as our possibilities and our chances go. So anyway, Joel is going to be down there tomorrow. Thank you. I won't be able to make that, but I will be Zooming in to be able to do it that way. And so anyway, we'll be there. Joel will be there and I'll be there to help with the questions as they come up. So hopefully if that happens, so again, the big part of the grant application was to get a planning to basically build a master plan at that point for the rifle range. Yes, just the rifle range, not the town, the rifle range. Just so, and so that's the big part of it. The other part was buying archery equipment. And when I say equipment, I mean targets and target stands and those things to get that set up. So that would be set up on the current property that we have. But this is a long-term project, and so it really is divided into two areas. One is what we can do right now, and then what can be done for the future and in the future. And so right now, that really gets based off of our current lease that we have on that now. So the BLM sent me a current copy of the lease. Joe's working on finding the application because the lease actually refers to the application, which I found rather fascinating, and it wasn't a part of the lease. So it should have been all in one place, in my humble opinion, but what do I know? It's probably those lawyers doing something, I don't know, but anyway. So anyway, with that, we'll be able to determine actually what we can do here, because I believe with our current property, we should be able to do the projects that keep getting talked about at the range now. We should be able to get those done, without having, all we would need at the most, what we would need is permission from the BLM to do that. So if you've been at the range, by the pistol range, there's that kind of hillside that kind of juts out into the parking area. Get rid of that, open up and build the berms out so we can have access to the second range that's up there that is really inaccessible, particularly if I'm teaching a class up there and I'm in the range where the shelter is at. We can't allow anybody to the range because at that point they're in front of the firing line. I mean, that makes zero sense. I mean, that's like wrong and safety issues. So the idea is to make them both accessible. And so that blading the ranges to get the drainage, once the hill gets done, then blading the inside of the ranges in order to get drainage off of them proper. Right now, if it rains hard, we've had to step over about a 3-foot wide puddle coming off of the concrete to get out to where our shooting line was at. So drainage to the water actually leaves the range, and so it would make a whole lot more sense to do that. So that would be another project, and then I would even think that if we get that hillside removed and that berm stretched out, then start looking at money and financing. This could be in the micro grant idea to build yet another shelter for, I'm calling it the rimfire range. I don't know if it would be used just for rimfire, but we could set it up and have shooting benches and overhang and, I mean, shelter it could be pretty cool for rimfire shooting. So we'd have the big, and also we could extend the current rifle range. Right now, it's about 200 yards. Extend that out maybe to 400 yards.
Yes.
So if we could do that, those things we'd be making the best of what we have now, particularly if we get the grant and we're able to add the archery parts to that. So the archery parts were 14 targets and also a trailer to store those targets in, which really made sense. And then also 4 individual shooting lanes that would be for sighting in, and also just that normal distance shooting, just practice. Okay, so I think we can with what we have, we can make that more usable than it is right now. If we get the grant and then we get the study, now we're expanding the land from our 73 acres into, frankly, a couple of sections of land, because we'd be looking at setting up 1,000-yard, and then Marshall's going to come out and teach us how to shoot a mile, that sort of thing. So anyway, we'd have that, trap ranges, skeet ranges, and sporting clays, which, as I'm hearing these guys talk about what they want to do with the side-by-sides and rentals and all those power sports things, I'm going, you've heard me say this before, and today even, I think a key pillar for Shoshoni is recreation. And so that and the rifle range, there'd be a nice synergy that would be a part of all of that. Things to do when you come to town.
Yeah.
So particularly if they did a paintball thing, that would really be cool. Anyway, just a side note. So anyway, that's the plan. I did finally get some feedback from the BLM. So Joe had her knee scoped here a couple of weeks ago. And so there's that time that, that Joe goes in, the wife goes in, has her surgery time, and she's basically out of pocket for at least an hour, if not 2 hours. And so with them having my phone number, I then scoot off to the BLM office and I walk in and I say, hi, I'd like to speak to my point of contact. Well, she's not here. Can I speak to her boss? So I get to speak to her boss, and that really worked out well, because the big issue was I am writing emails and nobody's responding. It's like, it's dark over here. I don't know what's going on, but have I done something? What do I need to do? And we had a really good, positive, constructive conversation. And I started getting some responses. So it's like, okay, so pull a Joel every once in a while, stop in the BLM office and let them see my face and say I'm still there. And that's coming up quick. I'll be able to do that because, on May 22nd, I am not going into my office anymore. I'm retired after that. So anyway, I just was pleased to finally get some response. And I think particularly with the planning grant for that, if we get that, I think it's be really cool. So that's why it's important enough that Joel's going to be there and I'll be there on Zoom. So I just think it's that big deal.
And talking about the shooting complex, I was down at the Republican GOP in Douglas for the weekend. Multiple discussions about that. What a great idea it would be, and look forward to there was many people there open carry firearms and stuff like that. That was a topic I talked with multiple people from all around the state of Wyoming. And there's emphasis on shotgun. It's a really great place for. I said, you're working on it.
I think that this would be, just for the same reasons these guys would have built here.
Yes.
That's why this range would be really effective.
Yes.
For the same big reasons. It is the crossroads after all. So anyway, thank you for talking to them.
That's very good. We appreciate everything we've done. Mark did all the heavy lifting on this project.
We're not done yet.
Trying to help with it.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
But anyway, Councilman Stetler.
Well, I was gonna mention about seeing if there were blading the roads. The other thing is our sign west of town that was damaged and Bart chopped it down. We have a plan on that?
Yeah, they're supposed to be looking into class to pick it back up. I brought that up. When I noticed here a week or so ago that it was down.
Oh, it's been down for months.
Well, I didn't know. I just
We-
noticed it.
It was
down.
funny, it looked like somebody cut it down with a saw, so I called up Chris and he said, let me guess, you're calling about the sign. Yeah, how'd you know? That's how I answered the phone. And what it was that part of it had broke and it was flapping in the wind and Bart on the way to pin the wells chopped it down to prevent further damage, which was the right call. But we need to I've had
Yeah.
several complaints from multiple people that it's been down.
Yeah.
Not necessarily complaints, but inquiries.
Yeah, it's about 2 weeks ago, I seen it and I called Chris also.
Is this the crossroads thing?
Yes.
The one west of town up on the hill.
Man, I didn't even notice it was
Yeah.
driving by.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
Bringing that note up, if we recall, back in October, August timeframe, I
It's
asked
about retreating.
if we needed to
Yeah.
do something to bring them back to life. If they
Yes.
were rotting away there and
They did rot away. Turns out you was right the whole time.
Well, that was the post, not the sign.
Right, the
Well,
post.
I said the post needed,
Yeah.
because this end of town, they were oil treated. Or just with used car oil or something, or machine
Car
oil.
or something.
They were dipped and
Well,
they were oiled down the middle of them and those logs look somewhat healthy.
Well, they were all supposed to be done that way.
Well, something didn't happen on the,
Well, obviously what happened there, but they were all supposed to be done that way.
and then the signs themselves, the finish on them's gone.
Yeah, I know, and I turned that over to Bart.
That was August. I brought that up, in
Sure.
25.
Yeah.
We're a few months away from August of 26.
Sure.
Seems like it's a sign that has come, it's time, yeah.
Well, it's getting the time of the year when to do it.
Are you trying to be funny, Mark?
I didn't really work, it kind of went over it, but yeah,
I got it.
thank you, yeah.
And the other thing, I seen it on the Facebook and I'm just gonna have it said. Saturday, May 9th is the animal clinic, so tell all your friends. Cheapest time and place to get your dogs vaccinated
Right.
and cats at the rec department. And Brooke Hirsch is doing it, she does a great job with animals, so. I plan on having a couple there anyways. Myself. Save a lot of money.
It's a good service,
Yeah.
a good service.
Anything else?
No, sir, that was everything. Thank you.
Mr. Marshall has something.
Actually, I wanted a question since we're getting ready to budget season. I know last year there was some work done on some nuisance abatement and condemnation. I want to mention everybody, as you're getting into budget season, you might want to include that in your budget this year. If you're wanting to do that.
Okay. That one property in particular,
There's a few. I know that we had started doing stuff. There's one, definitely a couple more ones that.
yes,
And my understanding is there was one that actually even burned, and I drove by that today. I think at some point you guys might. Just looking at, and I'm just thinking ahead, you're probably, the town's gonna. Want to move forward, so.
yep,
I just know that was a hiccup last year in completing, finalizing, getting some of the stuff cleaned up, was the cost of actually. After we did the,
right,
yep,
very good, thanks. Right away cleanup, so we have in our town right away, we have a lot of, a tire fence and other things. We probably need to,
And more if we're connecting on the same wavelength regarding the same geographical location.
Well, I think we have city town ordinance where we can address a lot of this, and the right of way, I was. Years ago, I don't know if we still have, but vehicles that are not licensed, I meant to check that. If they're not licensed, they couldn't park them in their right of way. But I know we do have some unlicensed vehicles, some of them look like junk or something, but you probably ought to be addressing those things. I gotta look at our, look at that again. Make sure, I know in the past that was,
I think it was so many, if I recall, the way that
Pardon?
word. I said, I could be wrong, but the way I thought that ordinance read is you were allotted so many. I could be wrong.
but we probably need to
Review that.
look at that. If I have some questions, I'll get with Marshall, maybe I'll have a chance to look at it.
Yeah, if it's in the right of way. Or I believe, and I can look at the state statute, but I believe you have the authority under state statute to remove junk and broken car or car abandoned vehicles and broken down vehicles. Sure.
What's, so what's the legal definition of the right of way? Is it in the, where traffic is actually?
No,
that?
no, it's our lots are all surveyed, some of them have posts in there, but it's. Is it 60 foot in our streets in Shoshoni or 80 foot?
I'd have to look at.
I forget, but it's,
However many feet from the center of the street out is the town right away.
well, it's from side, it's, if you get on the map server, it shows the right of way. And that's either a 60 or an 80 foot width. And it goes from where there will be a survey marker to the survey marker across the street on the other side. That's right away. And that's either. It varies on some of our streets how wide that exactly is here in town, but I think it's 60 foot of most of our streets. I think that's correct. That's the town right of way.
Irregardless, it's from survey stick to survey stick.
Yes. And that is in the right of way, so. But people, I've had part of my yard in the right of way.
Some of them are T-posts, some of them are pins.
Yeah, but there's, and I know. In the old original, we actually have. At least one or two garages in town. I know on 7th Street or actually the end of the garage is in the right of way. Because it was initially surveyed wrong. So when they did the correction, so everything I know on my block, everything's got 5-6 foot off. The right of way moves to the south. So on the north side of the lot, I know the right of way ends where my garage is. I got a little, like a 3-4 foot apron. That's built almost on the line of the right of way, not another 5 foot to the north. Yeah, but it's, and it varies. It's just like with the alley issue here a few years ago on the east end of town, where we had the alley. With the new owner, well, he inherited the land, the Machaca's land. They're next to the it used to be the old malt shop, on the East Berg's place on the east end of town, fast food place. But anyway, he inherited that land next to him, so he had it surveyed. And so our alley, where we had our alley, was in the wrong place. Part of everything had to move to the north, I think. I remember that. So he fenced out to his property. which went into what we were using for an alley for 50 years or whatever. Yeah. But there's that all over town. So, but anyway, the right of way, if you look at that.
Okay.
But I think, as I remember years ago, like 50 years ago, it was in the 70s. I had multiple vehicles in my backyard, all nice, neat, lined up. And anyway, they told me I had to license all my vehicles or sell them. I ended up selling. Had 357 Chevys, 156 Chevy, 56 Chevy pickup, 58 Cadillac limousine, 266 GTOs, 268 SS 396 El Caminos.
Oh, that's the one.
But anyway, I had a S66 SS 396. Multiple cars, all nice and neat.
So if a car is sitting on the property, it has to be licensed then.
Well, that was what they told me. Well, mine were actually probably in the alley. In the back of our lot, but they could have been partially off, but anything on the right of way also, they said it had to be licensed, but that was in the 70s.
By state statute, anything that's on a public road has to be registered and licensed.
Okay,
And that's considered a public road, the right of way part. Yeah, which is.
If it's an alleyway, yes.
Yeah.
yeah. So it was an alley we wasn't using, but I was just using that land.
Yeah.
Sort of where I had them going.
I understand.
Anyways, my wife was all happy and we started selling cars.
Yeah, but you sold some classics, yeah.
Oh, yeah, sold them too cheap too, but in any event. So, but that is something that we ought to do. Whenever visitors council, I've been told they changed their direction. I haven't talked to Sean about that, but that's what was passed on to me, Marshall. They were going to change the way they collected their funding and they were not gonna bring it to council. I was verbally told that after the meeting that was I think it was last Thursday, while we was having our FCAG meeting. They met and we got a word that they reconsidered after they talked to our attorneys. I know one attorney represents 4 municipalities. But anyway, I think Sean was going to be in on that conversation. I hadn't heard anything from him.
Okay.
So, but anyway, that's what I was told. It was the stance, which isn't FCAT. It's we're going to have a separate meeting, but the joint powers, our stance was different. Basically, they're saying they want to follow state statute, but we can make state statute more stringent. We can't be less. And that's what our requirement requires more, which we can do, and that's the organizational document that they got to operate on. And so they backed off. So they're gonna. That's the last I heard. Mayor Dubois is trying to keep a pretty good handle on that. So, but she hadn't told me anything any different. But I was gone all weekend. I was gone yesterday. Yesterday I was down at to speak defend the business council. Basically trying to keep the BRC program alive and keep the business council alive. I think we had a pretty good meeting. There's Senator Nethercott came up with a solution because they want to looking at going back to the consensus funding for municipalities and the counties, which can be faster, but the negative part of that county commissioners have veto power over any project. So it'd be divvied up to counties be could assessed value or something. But anyway, Fremont County did about $3.7 million for infrastructure projects and stuff like that. We agree amongst ourselves, so 50% of the municipalities would have to agree on any project plus the county. So the county could veto any project. Because they have that power. So, but it used to be 70% of the population, which in Fremont, the county still had the veto power. If that, to do that, Cheyenne, they would not. But so the county, so it's. And Senator Nethercott thought they should provide a different board. She presented that to handle that fund and let the business council do what they do. Don't put that on the business council. Also keep that separate, which I thought was a really good idea to allow, I personally prefer to see the business council stay alive and administer the funding. I know what we were talking about on that loan for the clawback for the town, Shoshoni could receive $2 million over 20 years for infrastructure. I thought was a really good part of that. And I mean, that could be a game changer for Shoshoni. I mean, big time.
Yeah.
And I don't want to see that program. Wham's executive committee is against it. So I mean, we have and I said, we got to be careful. I'm having, we need this. And the county commissioners seem against that also, but I don't, but there's projects that. This is something they did back, they haven't done it in 10 years. They used to have that. I think BRC, I really like that BRC. But BRC makes mistakes. I haven't agreed with all their decisions. I mean, you know what I mean? But I like the mechanism of getting that clawback funding, and I like the low interest loan. For the facility, like they would do away with that. We couldn't be able to do that. So maybe marrying the two, keep both programs alive. Because that's what I'm trying to do, and I'm gonna not be down there, but Rollins, they got the Joint Revenue Committee, and I'm gonna be on Zoom. On both of them. Heads up on that. Water tank. Last I knew, waiting for the paint to dry or the epoxy. Colder weather takes longer. So last I knew, that's last report they were gonna put in do the last one, and I haven't heard anything new. So else they didn't get the last one because the weather didn't get the last one done. But they were waiting on that done. We may have some future repairs that we may need to do in 3 to 5 years, because there's some of the beams on the top of it definitely need to be repaired. I think that was the most concern for the engineer. I will say the engineer seemed more concerned than Mike Quiver did on the inspections of on this what it is. So we'll be looking at that. But that's something we're going to probably have to plan for in the future, that we may have to address that. So do we have any movement where we're ready to? What did we do on our airport? Did we come up with standards yet? Is that we need to do that our next meeting, or we're?
No, we just needed to send the thing to Marshall, and I have not done that.
Okay, I'm just checking. I appreciate all the work you've done on that too, Jordan. You really did a good job.
I sent it to Kim. Kim has it, and yeah, so I'll just make sure it gets to Marshall. I told him I'll send it to him tomorrow.
Okay.
Chat about it before the meeting starts. So.
Yeah, maybe we'll try to have that next meeting, and we can That way we can get the notice out to everybody that we need to get the notice to and move forward. There again, appreciate the good work.
The only thing that will need to be added to that from Kim's perspective is the increase we already talked about back in,
Okay,
Jake, what was that, October, we thought?
I don't remember. It's been a while.
And then we brought up again in February and we tried to do it, but it was a hang up. But we talked about it in
you bet.
October or September and agreed that we were gonna do it first part of the year and then we missed it. Tried to do it in January and missed it again, so we need to make sure that that's added.
Correct. To the contract.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan. That's all I have. I didn't know somebody else, anything else, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Since Tammy's not here,
Hey,
I
what are we
wish
supposed to
we,
do?
or to adjourn, what?
Hey, what are we supposed to do?
Call it.
I know. I second what Tammy would do.
Oh,
I'll second your motion.
Okay.
been moved and seconded, we adjourn. Any further, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed.